Yep, I did it. I got them. The Rogue Hobbies paints. Plus the white. I regret not getting it black. From Monument Hobbies. Pretty exciting. So we're going to test them out. There's little paintballs in there. And trust me, I'm going to use what's on there too. What I like is you don't need to thin it. I think it can go on a mile straight as. Just gonna end up scooping all of it off. I like that. Moment of truth. I don't want to waste any of that. Yeah. How opaque is it? It's pretty dense in color. Green, blue, purple. We still have the white. That is some bright stuff, and I find this. Yep. Okay, since orange is still with us, gonna make some white into that. Put it up there. Jeez. Yeah, that didn't quite work the way I wanted it. Okay. These are fun. I mean, I don't even know if I can call them primary, secondary, tertiary. They don't go by those rules.
Well, actually, they kind of do. According to Louise of Rogue Hobbies, you've got
Just trying to
CMYK
keep it off my shirt.
presented here without the black, and you've got RGB. I'm just sort of
Since I'm obviously
mixing as
failing.
I go. I wish I picked up the Monument Hobbies black, but I have a lot of black already. I might pick it up later on.
Okay, let's get rid of these. Oop. These look pretty on the tissue.
Kind of regretting I didn't do this on my wet palette. This stuff does like to dry pretty quick, and it's very matte.
It is very runny.
But I'm working on getting a bigger wet palette for these kinds of things.
Put a little purple. Let's find a little white. Let's see what it does. Colors could be kind of endless. Though all my tertiary colors are kind of the same. A lot of them mixed together. 3 of them mixed together always seems to make this muddy kind of green color. curious what hot pink will do with this. Ooh, I think I like that. It's not a real purple. Did I make any decisions? No. Maybe. Games Workshop finally had it in stock. I am very excited about these Nurglings. This could be part of my little guy paint series, because I don't think I'm ever going to play Nurgle. I have one army I haven't even played. I like the painting. I'm just not competitive enough to oh, look. I was a little worried since I was ordering something that wasn't in stock but had to be, you know, is it online only? I don't know, but it wasn't in stock, so I had to request it, because when I did that with the Corvallis Kill Team, I got sort of like, if you ever order anything that happens to be resin, it comes in that sort of generic box of theirs. So I was incredibly disappointed to see that, because their artwork is another thing that, you know, sells product, but they don't care. Well, they're not concerned because they were ending the line. Oh, they're bigger than I thought they'd be. Okay, I don't need I don't need that just yet. And I won't need these. Luckily, I got a lot of 25mm bases, because I think what I'm going to do, actually I might need a 30. Oh, look at that. I don't even know if you guys can see it. Oh, yeah. No, not all of them have booties. Oh, that's sad. Some of them have like weird impressions on them to be stuck to other people. Really, I think I now have an idea of what I'm gonna do with these guys. I'm gonna look for a set of 6. I know there's some 6s somewhere around here. At least I thought there were. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8. I might have to make a set of 6. There's 7 there. But I don't think there's any. There might be repeats. I thought I saw a set of 6, but no. So I'm going to have to make a set of 6. Because I'm thinking, since her color's in a set of 6, I might do something with that. Because I'm trying. I built another guy. Just a random intercessor. I'm fighting with an unknown. I feel like maybe little babies will be a little less daunting. I'm not sure. So I think that's what we're going to try. But I'm excited. I got them. My little dudes. I will be painting just one little guy. Not sure which one. I mean, I do have the sassy Nurgling, but they're just so adorable. And maybe in the colors of the rainbow, that might work. So, lots of thoughts, lots of thoughts. Okay, we got my Nurglings. We got 40 millimeter base because the 35 is too small. We're gonna try it with Wraithbone. We'll see how it goes. Okay, we picked Wraithbone because we never get to really use it. It's kind of fleshy. But can you even see that? You can hear the silly bird. I'm kind of sad they don't have real tushies. But we'll see. I think I got it all. Yay. Okay. I think that keep the... Yeah, the base doesn't need to be on that stuff. They are pretty good. So, I mean, the only part I didn't quite get is like the very bottom of the bottom booties, but my goal is to try to handle them not so often because my hands wipe off paint. They are not necessarily the subject of this lovely video. What really is the subject, I'll just leave them right here, are these paints. These paints right here. Yay! So, they are the Rogue Hobbies. I am a follower, though can't afford to Patreon just yet, but I will. And I thought I'd try out a little, I put together a Space Marine just for this project. And, you know what, I'm just used to the Citadel where you put it on your palette, give it a little water, or in my case, I give it a little medium. But this stuff doesn't need to be watered down. So I find this is just the first layer. So yeah, that's almost a second layer. It feels chalky. I mean, it's weird. I'm not used to it doing that. I mean, it's cute. But then I was struggling with how I'm going to highlight. So I've seen where someone just paints it and then you use, white as the highlight and black as the low light. So I'm thinking each little Nurgling would get a color. Ooh, and I'm missing a color. Somehow my orange has walked away. I have to find that, but I think that's the plan for this video. We'll see. Am I going to be successful? I don't know. But here's what they look like, all dried up from like 2 weeks ago when I attempted. So there's 6 colors, and that's the white. And they behave differently here too. Normally my paints, they separate and then they dry a little differently on the wet palette. These definitely behave way differently on a wet palette. So I'll be back. So I want these to flow, so I've got glazing medium, but I'm also going to try some other things. The wetting aid I just picked up. I've also got some retarder, but I'm thinking,
They're going to stick with the wetting aid. Always dilute with water. I always have bottled water next to me because it's really for my bugs. Because you want to give them a good squirt every once in a while to keep them from drying out. Really here, I have no clue how I'm going to do this. Because I don't want to put that wetting agent into each and every paint because I'm not sure how it's going to behave. So I decided dip my brush in like you would dip in normal water and then scoop up a little paint. Maybe do actual mixing on the model. I had no clue what I was doing right now. So I'm liking this effect. It's not overwhelming, it's not streaking. Pretty much, I guess I turned it into a speed paint here. I find it dries pretty quickly. So I'm applying pretty much my second layer right after the first. And I'm really liking how it's not really the pooling, but it's, layering so you get darker shadows. So I really like the effect of this wash, so I make the decision, well, dipping back into the wetting agent just makes a mess. I mean, you can see that little bitty bit of magenta smear. So I'm going to make a little puddle next to every color so I can do a little wash and sort of speed up my process just a tiny bit. I've decided with my extra guys, they're going to serve as the transition from one color to another color. So I've done the orange on that third Nurgling. So the guy in the middle is going to have half magenta, but it's on his other side that's nearest the orange. And then the side that's nearest the magenta is going to be the orange. So there they are, all painted. I really love the coloring. The color is so vibrant, and you just can't defeat this yellow no matter how much you thin it down. But I'm really digging the process. I am so impressed with Monument paints. Ooh, like I'm mixing right here the colors on the model, and oh, I'm really, really liking it. So my goal was to make a light brown or a taupe for the bone in the teeth. And looking at the percentages, I think it was a little too complex a task for me to try at this point. So I made the decision I'm going to use incredibly thin down black for any kind of shading on bone and just use the Wraith Bone White primer as the bone color. So now I'm going back into my original colors and intensify the shadows. Now for my yellow, I'm going to use green and layer that for my shadows. Now I'm using blue to shade the green. Whites here are going to be my highlights. Off camera, I mixed up a bit of orange, which I think is the magenta, a little bit of yellow and white. Not exactly sure what the process was, kind of skipped over, but that's meant for the tongues and the organs. Other spots I stippled the white so it's not so stark a contrast. I don't know, all of this is experimental for me.
So I'm thinking this could be it. I kind of like it. It's such a weird look. Of course, I didn't finish the horns, but I think that's about as far as I'm going. I guess I gotta figure out the base next. Okay, so I think I got my brushes. My color scheme is gonna be essentially CMYK. The darkest is black, the K, cyan, the blue, magenta, yellow, white, in this order. Black first. We've got my box of goodies. We got the coarse pumice gel. We even got our battleground and some cork. There's our piece of cork. Got my bits and pieces. Let's see what we can come up with. Okay, I'm liking this. So I'm gonna trace. That's pretty good. I'm gonna trace him onto this. See if this has got any juice in it. Yep. There we go. Put him in safety. Not gonna give them a tactical rock, but they are gonna get a lot of tufts. And these are all back when I used to do clay stuff. Well, all of these. Not this one, so let's see what we can do with this. This muck is always fun. I guess I gotta build it up around them too. I just don't want to put them on there because I can't really. Well, maybe I can. You know what? Let's try that. I'm sure I'm gonna regret it, but that's okay. A little too much. That's okay. Yeah, I can definitely use some more. So I gotta wait for all of this to dry. And I'm gonna put some of this in there just in case.
I found high flow medium is really good as sort of a really watered down glue for anything you apply to a base.
And on top of it, we're gonna use some of this too. We might as well. I never get to use this pricey stuff. I treat it like its texture. And delete more of this. And I'll come back. This is all dry. Oh. And this is all dry. Oh, Jesus. And I'll come back when this is all dry, however it dries.
So we're going to give the base a coat of the Chaos Black. So we're going to dry brush with our ultramarine, which represents our cyan. We're also going to do a little sponging. Next up is the dark hot pink, which represents our magenta. On to bismuth yellow. Lastly, bold titanium white. Tufts are magic, and these are glued down with crazy glue. gloss black craft paint is used to finish the base. I really like these paints. They're hard to capture on camera and on film, but I think this might be the best picture I took of them. But I really like Rogue Hobby paints, and I honestly enjoy Nurglings. They're so cute. So thank you for bearing with me, and I will see you next time.